But that's it. Let's get down to business here. This lady, I tell you what, her she talked about last week. She talked about how to attract abundance. Yes, yes, yes. She's been a regional director, got there and got there. She's also a homemaker. Her husband does construction. She's also take care of her parent, her dad. She also is a community leader in her area. She also has a wonderful daughter down down in college right now that she is really watching over and making sure things happen for her in the right way. She's also has a large organization in ACN, and I just love her sense of humor. I love where she comes from. I love everything about her. Without further ado, can we give a warm welcome to Regional Vice President, Miss Keri Roeder?
Good morning. Good morning. Happy Tuesday. I love seeing all your wonderful faces. This is so great. I'm sitting in my home, in my office, but I feel like I'm hanging out with all of you, and I can't wait to hug every single one of you in Dallas. Like, if I haven't met you yet, please come find me. I'm like the shortest one there. I'm all of 5 foot tall, but somehow I'm like always found. So I'm easily findable, probably because of my very loud voice and my very loud giggle. So if we haven't met yet, I would love to absolutely meet you and give you a big hug in Dallas. And obviously, if we have met, then obviously I love my hugs. As you all know, I'm a big, big hugger. So I am super honored and excited to be another opportunity to have a conversation. I reiterate what we've been talking about for months now. You know, we don't take Mr. Thomas for granted. We use him as a tool. He is a tool. He's a tool to help every single one of us have success, including myself. Um, and so if you are new on this call, you know, I know you have interactions with him every day. You know, he's full of energy and everything, but I really want you to understand, like, he's a shark when it comes to the building ACN business. He's the fun shark, but he is a shark. He knows how to teach every single one of us to what to do to generate the income that it is we're looking to generate. I'm sure that's why we're all here on these, you know, mornings. People like Mrs. Renata Coomer, she follows his lead. That's why she's a top producing COC success in ACN. So you guys, it's really, Mr. Thomas is really just, he's the model of how to create success in ACN. And he does that partially by bringing in other people's voices, like mine, Mrs. Driscoll, you know, Mr. Trolley, all kinds of different leaders that he brings on to talk to all of us. And it's funny because we really are only repeating the things that we've learned from him directly or indirectly from somebody he has already taught. So the idea that he's been documented internationally for success, not just in ACN, but in all of network marketing. Like, he is just really, my husband and I love, respect him. And I appreciate that I get to be a part of these talks. So hopefully this month of February, some of the things that I have said have resonated with some of you. One of the things that Mr. Michael Mazer has taught me is that, you know, people only hear about 7% of what you say. And what I have found out through I have 2 degrees in psychology, and what I have found is people hear what they need to hear when they need to hear it. And hopefully some of what I'm saying, like I said, you are able to pull bits and pieces from. And yeah, last week we talked about abundance. This has been really bizarre this month of February, how Mr. Thomas and I are connected. You know, he had the rubber band money conversation, and I was going to talk about that kind of lifestyle thing. And then last week, doing that networking thing I do on Tuesday mornings, and she was going over hypnotherapy and abundance, and that sparked the conversation of, you know, what are you doing right here? What are you doing right here to attract abundance? And so I have a conversation for today, but it's interesting. Last night, I was wound up, which is of shock to those who know me. And it's like 10 o'clock at night, and I'm like, okay, I need to go sleep. And so I decided to watch some Netflix instead to kind of calm my brain down. Well, I ended up watching the movie Soul Surfer. By a show of hands, how many of you have seen Soul Surfer? Okay, so for those of you who have not, watch it. It's a phenomenal movie. It is a movie about a young teenage girl who grew up in Hawaii surfing. Her whole life was, her goal was to be a professional surfer. She was homeschooled, her and her best friend were homeschooled by her parents, her mom, so that she could surf every morning and really had those goals. Well, one of the days they were out surfing, she had a shark attack, and the shark bit off her left arm all the way up to her shoulder. Obviously, she survived. Well, she had such a goal that she had set for herself, that to be a professional surfer, that she went through the mental decision to do it, to keep surfing, to get back in that water, to work hard as she did. And she went to her first tournament, and she got out there, but she was not doing as well. As she went from being a champion surfer to, surfing with one arm and hitting all the waves, falling. Well, what ended up happening was she ended up inspiring so many other people. They mailed her letters, and she had gone off to do a mission in Thailand. When she got back, she came to a household full of letters from kids, letters from adults saying, "You've inspired me. Because of you, I'm going to go do these things." Right. And so she then picked, because she quit. So she picked herself back up and said, "You know what? I can do this." So she went out and she trained even harder. She worked on her mindset even more. Her dad created a thing on her board that she could duck dive under the water. She ended up playing in a championship, or whatever you call it, surfing in a championship competition. And she always competed with kind of like her enemy person. And she ended up catching the wave at the very last second, where she would have won the entire tournament. But apparently she jumped up and the whistle, and then she jumped. So that that one didn't count. But everybody knew that she technically won or she should have won the tournament. And so when they were done, she was being interviewed by everybody, and one of the reporters asked, "Did you ever feel like giving up?" And she said something along the lines, I meant to watch it this morning, but y'all know me, 9 a.m. is a little early for me to put my face on, so I didn't get a chance to watch it again this morning. But she said something along the lines of, "If I had quit, I would not have had an opportunity to inspire other people to do what they're designed to do." She recognized as a teenager, if she had quit, she would not have been able to design or to inspire those. So bring this to ACN. I know there's some of you on this line, because I'm looking at myself right now. There have been some of you on this line who are looking at your journey, and you've been eaten by that shark, and you've got an arm missing, and you're thinking, "Oh, I should just give up." But then you go like, "No, I got this." And you go out and you try and you recruit again, and you try to get a customer again. And then you go to the competition and you get hit by the waves. So then you give up, right? You give up again. But then somehow, something, somewhere, someone inspires you, like those letters did for her. And you decide to go out there and compete again. And this is where I hope you are. I hope you decide to go back out to that competition and go out there and ride those waves to the best of your ability. Adjust what you need to adjust. Fix your board, however you need to fix your board, so that you can ride that wave. It doesn't matter what's happening to the surfer to your right, surfer to your left, surfer in front of you, surfer behind you, the people cheering you on the crowd. It matters what you're doing. What is your decision? Because here's the thing, your journey is designed to inspire other people. Your journey is designed to inspire other people. If you could actually know what my true 13 and a half years look like in ACN, outside of ACN, I would think it would inspire some of you to keep going. I don't have time, right? Maybe someday over a cup of coffee or something else, we can always have that conversation. And I'll be honest with you, what the journey looks like, because it's not easy. This is so not easy. Simple, but it's not easy. So, The Soul Surfer is the name of the movie. If you want inspiration, it's a great movie for inspiration, because it's a teenager who has the mental capacity and the drive and the chutzpah to see something through. She did end up going on to becoming a professional surfer, surfing with just one arm. Isn't that incredible? Okay, so today's conversation, I'm going to go over with you. I get to share my screen. Yep. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So if I could get a thumbs up that y'all can see my screen. Okay, cool. So today's conversation, I'm actually going to do this so I can see better. Okay, so today's conversation is ACN attributes of success, the daily dozen. Okay, and I typed these out so that you could all see it as we have this conversation. Okay, So number one, you must be eaten up with winning. Okay, so listen to this. Quitting cannot be an option. Until you make this decision, you aren't going to make it. Determine what you are willing to sacrifice along the way. Sacrifice isn't what you don't have, it is what you choose to not have now. If you hold on to all that which is small, you'll never have that which is large. So number one, be eaten up with winning. Number two, belief, passion, and excitement. The business must become bigger than you. You will attract people according to the size of your belief, fueled by passion and excitement. Your attitude quotient is more important than your intelligence quotient. Guard your mind. Protect your why. If you do the opposite of what most people are doing, you will win. Number three, be willing to go through the numbers. Don't take rejection personally. Some will, some won't, some wait. So what next? Be a professional sorter. You have the opportunity that can positively impact people's lives. There are no overnight successes. The glory always has a story. Number four, possess a strong work ethic. 75% effort is harder than 100% effort. Wow. Either magnify your output or modify your goals and dreams. Quote, you have no right to be disappointed with the fruit that didn't come because of the seeds you didn't sow, end quote. Number five, master the 24-hour game plan. Properly launch a new IBO within 24 hours. Every 24-hour delay loses 25% effectiveness with the new IBO. Number six, keep it super simple. Master the mundane. Be brief. Everything you do must work 10 levels below you. If you resist the monotonous, you'll miss the miraculous. Number seven, people who break records keep records. Track your progress. Review a few simple key ACN metrics. Number of PBRs each week, open line recruits, customer to IBO ratio, pre-registration for convention, QT, ETL promotions within your team, qualification percentages, number of IBOs in your back office, number of exposures per week, number of IBOs with free services. Remember, 7 days without building makes 1 week, WEAK. Number 8, spend time with the right people. Avoid toxic people. Eliminate the distractors. Don't lessen yourself to make others comfortable. 20% of the people will give you 80% of the results. Number 9, lead by example. In every situation, at every moment, in every circumstance, you be the example. You set the standard. Set the bar high, lose the losers. Set the bar low, lose the winners. The speed of the team is set by the speed of the leader. Number 10, commit to personal growth. If you quit growing, you quit. Your body always wants more of what you feed it. So does your mind. Read at least 10 pages of a personal development book and 1 proverb each day. Who's monitoring you? Who are you hanging out with? Who are you listening to? What are you reading? Number 11, create a positive winning environment. You aren't responsible for people. You are responsible to them. We are dealers in hope. Hope is where need meets opportunity. Create a sense of family and destiny. It takes leaders with vision to help people with dreams. And number 12, the last one, be a steadfast leader. You are an upline first and a friend second. Never show doubt, fear, worry, or hurt. Be the rock. Put people above yourself. Don't be important. Now, some of you are wondering, where did this come from? Where did I get this information from? Grow, grow, grow. Mr. Provenzano. It is the attributions, can't really see that, but it's the attributions, ACN attributions of success. Here's another quote that I found this morning from Mr. P. You will determine your success or failure based on your daily agenda. I call him Mr. P. You will determine your success or failure based on your daily agenda. So I want you all to hear me when I say this. ACN isn't expected that you go full time, 40 hours a week, all out. I mean, if you want to go RVP quickly, yes, you need to figure out that balance. You need to figure out hauling butt and doing all that. And when you find somebody, by the way, who wants to do that, which was me once I figured out the comp plan, don't hold them back. Do not hold them back. Let them go. Let them go make money for you. Even if you're not making the bonus money, let them go build a pillar of strength in one of your lines of businesses. And by the way, monopolize that situation by using that person's story and all the other lines of your businesses and in your recruiting. Somebody in my team's killing it. Somebody in my team is top production. I learned a little secret along the way when I was getting started. My upline, so back then it was called TC, now it's regional director. Anyway, my upline was in company top production, the RD basically. And so was that person above her, and so was that person above her. As soon as I matched that position, they were no longer in top production. I was like, oh, got it. But all that work I was doing, the RVP was in top production. As soon as I matched RVP, you know what I mean? So, and again, they had other production happening. But here's the thing. When you have a position, when you are in a RC or RD position, somebody's working below you, that is what puts you in company top production. And when somebody is working their tails off to build their own business and build their own life, and you are or are not a part of it, cool. Because they're building their business, which in turn builds your business. When they do all of these things, you want to encourage that. You want to use that as, like I said, stories for other lines of your business and in your recruiting. But ultimately, it's interesting as I was going through these, and I think about the opportunities that I get to talk on these calls and other leadership things. Somehow I must have memorized a lot of parts of this because, Mr. P is Mr. P. So you hang on to every word he says, right? But the regurgitation of information from leaders like Mr. Thomas, like the founders, I'm sorry. I've made up one thing in my 13 and a half years of building ACN. Some of you have heard me say it in training, and it's this. If you don't want it to be weird, don't be weird. I came up with that because my cousin, when he recruited me, he was weird. We went from a normal cousin conversation, hey cuz, blah, 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 to, hey Keri, I really respect you and Brad. And I legit, I was like, Michael, I actually took the phone away from my ear to make sure it still said Michael Parrish. I was like, and then he went into this bizarre invitation that I said no thank you to. It took me 3 weeks to see ACN because I was so honoring that he did a weird invitation. But then my entire family all saw ACN. Everybody got started, and fortunately for them, they all did it right. Nobody would describe to me what it was. They were going to make me see it. I was forced to sit down and see what I call their stupid little video, just so I could tell my sister, get off my back. Like, I'm not doing whatever you people are doing, right? When I saw the stupid little video, I was instantly in, didn't know what it cost, didn't know what the revenue was, but I was doing it, okay? And guess what? I am the only person in that line of my entire family that is still doing ACN. Do they pay their $25 a month in override? I don't know. Do they celebrate me? Most of them. Do some of them not and still mock me 13 and a half years later? Probably. And do I care? Nope. Not one stinking out. Because number 8, spend time with the right people. Avoid toxic people. Eliminate distractions. Don't lessen yourself to make others comfortable. Don't lessen yourself to make others comfortable. I can give a rat's patootie what other people think about how I am choosing to generate income to take care of my daughter so that she can, like Mr. Thomas said, she's in Santa Barbara. It's a combined household effort. But here's the thing, my grandchildren, you hear me clearly. I tell her we got like 8 or 10 years, right? She gives me grandkids. But my grandkids will never spend summers in the United States. I'm going to take all of my grandkids and my daughter, if she wants to go, and we're going to live international lifestyles because I didn't do it for my kid like I wanted, but damn it, I'm going to do it for my grandkids. And so, anybody who judges me along the way, screw you. You pay my mortgage. I live in California, you guys. You pay my mortgage. You pay my utilities. And until you have this kind of attitude and this kind of mindset, I'm telling you, don't lessen yourself to accommodate others. If you raise the bar, you gain the winners. If you guys, you want to attract the winners, keep your bar high. Keep your stance high. You've seen me do this before for those of you who've been on these calls where I get fired up because it is all about you. It is about you and what your goals are, what your desires are. You be the soul surfer that had the shark eat the arm off and you went, whatever, ocean, let's go. I'm going to tackle you. I'm going to ride this wave and I'm going to have the success that I set myself out to have. Because that's ultimately why we all got started in ACN. So I hope the month of February has been helpful for some of you and that you've been able to take a piece or two of whatever it is that I've been able to share. And I honestly, Mr. Thomas, I really, it brings tears to my eyes the day that my husband and I physically met you in person and that you remembered us and that you have brought us into your inner circle in such an intimate way because it's because of your love and your passion to help other people is part of why I am successful in life in ACN as a mother, as a wife, and as a child to my parents and as a friend and a leader. So I hope every single one of you can genuinely feel my emotion and my love for that man. And I hope you don't take him for granted. I hope you use him as a tool. So I'm going to turn this call back over to you.